All right, I'm here today with one of my students from my Patreon, Nicholas, and we're going to be working on the airbag. Nicholas, what are you trying to work on? What are your goals for today?
Yeah, so ultimate goal is learn corks both ways. I think I need to go back to basics, so I tend especially frontside to open way before the takeoff. So I think that's the main thing I need to work on.
Nice. Do you want to start on frontside or backside today?
Maybe a bit of both.
All right, sounds good. So we're going warm up. We'll do the fundamentals. I'll go see what you're doing on the 360s and see what we can go and build on from there. And if you're making any mistakes that we need to change on the 360s, we'll address that before moving on to the 5s and the corks.
Sounds cool.
All right, dude, let's get
Nice.
after
Let's
it.
get it.
All right, Nicholas's first hit. Straight air, shifty. Nicholas dropping in. Nice, getting used to the new board. First front free of the day. I haven't seen any front frees from you before, so this is the first one I'm looking at. Good patience on the takeoff, not opening too soon.
All right.
You could probably just delay this a little bit longer. So what I want here is at this stage here, just take your front arm and pull it to your back knee.
Okay.
Literally just pull it here, and that's going to increase your range of motion and delay you slightly. So as you go from toe edge to heel edge, let's take that front arm and pull it to the back leg a bit.
Okay.
One more thing that's going to really help you is add a little bit more bend to your legs on the toe edge. The reason why this is so beneficial is right now you're super tall, and then you're trying to go into a crouch down position. But if you're coming in crouched, then this is the only shift you need to do. So it's the difference of needing to go from this to this. So let's add a little bit more bend to your legs, and as you go and shift to your heel edge, take your right arm and pull it towards your back leg.
Okay. When should I start bending them, from the takeoff or?
As soon as you're on your toe edge, just try to add a little bit more bend into your legs. I'd say around 70% of the way down, getting to that position.
Okay.
It'll just make it way easier to transition to the heel edge.
Cool.
Give that a try. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Yeah, so much better. So let's see what you did. See how you had a bit more bend in your legs at this point here?
Yeah.
Then
Is that enough or a bit more?
A little more still.
A little more, okay.
Because see how here you have more bend than you do here?
Yeah.
So let's just add maybe 10% more bend.
Okay.
Just
anticipate it.
Just a little bit, but look at how you kept your front arm towards your back leg that whole time.
Yeah.
And that delayed your snap, open it up, gave you so much more power, so that's a cleaner takeoff. Your spine looking forward, but that's pretty normal for airbag because it's safer on the bag. But if we were doing this on a real snow, we wouldn't want to
Keep
make
the eyes on the knuckle.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to go for a 5. At least it felt that way. So
that one, you had enough power. You could have pulled that through to a 5. So really good. I'd say just add a little bit more bend on the toe edge, and let's go and see what that does for you.
Am I grabbing too soon or?
No, you're not grabbing too soon. Yeah. But see how you're sort of positioning yourself to reach for the grab a little bit early?
Yeah, okay.
So worry about the grab a little bit less and just focus on that form, but it's not a big deal right now.
Cool.
Nice. How did it feel, and what do you want to do from here?
It felt way better than any of the 3 that I've ever done, pretty much.
Okay, well that's amazing.
The only thing I noticed this time, I had my hand really high up. I'm not sure why that is, but...
It's going to have to do with a slight axis of rotation. So as you're going and popping, you're waiting to grab a little bit more, and that's making it so your board's a little bit flatter in the air. So you're using your arm to rebalance you. Yeah. That's pretty normal. I wouldn't worry about it. The takeoff's the most important thing, and it was the best free you've ever done in your life. So let's just grind out maybe a couple more of those because it's fresh, and we'll think about moving on to the 5s or backside spins after that. But
nice.
Absolutely fantastic. Let's go get another one.
Loving it.
See how you're holding your opened up position for a little bit?
Yeah, I felt it.
You're also generating a bit more rotation than you need for the 3. So that's why your arm's going up. This is actually you slowing down your maximum rotation velocity. Okay. So what I do is snap a little bit less hard and try to just keep it a bit more fluent because you don't need this more power. And what I don't want you to do is when we move on to 5s, for you to be okay, I need more power for the 5, but you try to add more range of motion and snap because you're already snapping a little bit too much and holding it for a bit. So let's go, and now that we got this motion, let's try pop it, keep it smooth, and try take off with your chest coming more 90 with your arms more in a neutral position. Okay. And a little less power. Remember, we can always use counter rotation to finish it, so you really don't need that much power. How did that front free feel?
really good.
Really good? Yeah. Nice. That I like a lot more. That will translate a lot better to snow. Because you had that little bit of like under rotation and then cut through, like there you could have hold the blind landing, you could land with a little toe pressure. So that's a much more accurate frontside 360 to what you'd want to be doing off of an actual like on snow jump. Let's see the pop timing. Showing up, rotating, popping through, grabbing. Good arm positioning. Let's go and try keep your eyes locked a little more on the knuckle. See how your head's like sort of looking over your shoulder a little bit here. Okay. And then you're like holding it. It will be a lot more powerful because right now what you're doing is you're coming up, popping, rotating, and then you're sort of pulling up your head to spin a bit, then letting it fall behind. But what I want you to do is pop up head here and rotate through, keeping your head in the same spot. Okay. So that's going to make it so the 5's a lot easier because right now if you tried the 5 like that, you'd want to rotate a little more and that'd throw you slightly off axis. Okay. Instead, what you need for the 5 is head here, down, and then connecting the whole upper body into this position so you can go and get it pulled around. So let's go and focus keeping the eyes on the knuckle. Does that explanation make sense?
Yeah, totally.
All right, so eyes more locked on the knuckle and try to rotate your body around it. We combine that with what you're doing, it's going to be very good.
Cool, let's get it.
Good head position the whole way, tracking the whole way, falling through. I really like that one. Let's try to be even more patient. See how your upper body's like sort of holding this position and you're extending your arm. Yeah. Let's try to start with your arm coming up like this. Instead of having it angled down, let's try to pull it here and see what that does to the rotation.
Cool.
I want you to delay getting onto your heel edge. See how you're getting on your heel edge around the spoon of the jump?
Yeah.
Let's go and just delay this all a little bit more, and delaying that will make it so your body's more wound up. You can hold a more wound up position because you're holding it for less time, and that should give you an easier range of motion. But I really like the exit of your upper body and carrying the momentum. That all looks a lot better. I think you just had to not commit because you had too much rotational force.
I just forgot, like, right at the knuckle, I remember, like, okay, I gotta, like, do what you told me last time, so I forgot to grab again.
Let's add a little bit more bend of the legs. Let's focus on that again. Right. More bend of the legs. Wait to get onto the heel edge a little bit longer, and then try to get a little bit more wound up and go from there.
Okay.
And yeah, that should be all you need to do. But the timing for the takeoff and everything was way better, so now we just need to incorporate that with what we were incorporating earlier on.
Okay.
There we go. That's power.
Thinking about a lot of things at the same time. The only thing I forgot was like to spot the knuckle.
Yeah.
The rest it felt good.
Yeah, your spot was a little off, but good motion, good range, good snap timing, good extension. Let's see, I'm in run, nice bend, nice leg positioning. That's all really good. I think we've done enough of a frontside 360 that you'll need for like my time. I think it will be good to like sit on this and rest. I think let's move on to backside spins because what I'm worried about is if we switch to front 5s, you're going to start forming some of those like bad habits again. So I want you to just take a night to let this solidify into your muscle memory, and then I'll go send you the videos, you can look at it, and that should help engrave it, and then from there we can start expanding and pushing the form.
Sounds good.
So do your warm-up you need for backside spins, and we'll try to get some backside trees going.
And do like a back quick reset my brain, and then we'll go for it.
Whatever is your process, man.
Cool, nice.
All right, let's get after it. First thing I want to note is there's some stuff to really like here.
Okay.
You're going and not over snapping with your upper body. You're taking off really patient off your legs, and then you're leading with your arm. Let's go no grabs. I don't want you to grab your snowboard at all when we're practicing this.
Okay.
Now let's just talk about a couple little things you can do to make this easier. The first thing is going to be you're pretty awkward through the spoon of the jump here. So you're going like, see how your shoulders sort of like closed off and your hips are sort of closed?
Yeah, I see that.
I want you to go and practice when you're coming into the jump this time, getting onto your heels super early. Like drop in, get into position, and then get on your heels. But I want you to take your front hand, put it on your hip. Your left hand, put it on your hip too, so that way your whole body's angled towards the corner of the jump. Okay. What that's going to do is increase your range of motion.
I'm on my heels.
On your heels, yeah. So you want to be on your heels like this. Now I want you to add more bend to your legs. So you're more bent in this position, and that'll make it so as you come and translate through, you're now in a much better snapping spot and you have way more range of motion to play with. In the air all looks good, so I want you to just, this time, so you're not too much, take this hand, put it here, this hand, put it closer to here, and try go and build off that base.
Can you show me regular just so I can like...
Oh yeah, for sure. This hand here, this hand here.
Okay.
That will go and open your hips and open your chest towards the corner of a jump. And one thing I noticed in your front side and backside spins a bit is you're sort of letting your back round a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is happening because you're trying to hold that edge pressure. But if your back's rounded, you hold the heels. Then when you shift to your toes, you're going to be rounded like this, and that's going to be really hard to generate for rotation. Okay. So we want to go and tighten the glutes a little bit. Okay. Tighten your glutes, that'll keep your back a little bit stronger. So hand here, and flex your glutes together just a T bit, and that will help keep everything more stacked. And from there, just do what you've been doing off the jump, and we'll keep building off that because I don't want to give you too much information.
Yeah.
Nice. That looked really good. I'll get a shot of a takeoff next time. Yeah, you came into the landing really good there. Whoa. Not ideal. How did day one go for you?
Yeah, I'm stoked on it. Like, so we worked on the basics. So I've got like bigger goals, but like super happy to like just take a step back and work on those things that feel a bit sketchy. Like sometimes I'll take off on a 3 and it feels like all right. Sometimes it's just like way off. And just with those couple of tips that you gave me, it's like whole of a feeling like it's just feels so good in the air, so less like sketchy, and I'm super happy.
Yeah, you had some really fantastic frontside 360s. I'll go and again give you the footage so you can go and look at it. But one place that you'll be able to improve your frontside 360s is right now you're relying a little bit on like leaning forward. So as you're like on your toe edge, you're sort of going and rounding in the back to do it. One of the reasons is because you're a really tall dude, so it's like a little hard to stay stocked and like locked in. So I'm gonna want you to practice going and holding this position onto your toe edge just a little bit straighter, chest more over the knees while holding that straight spine. Because when you do that, that's going to make it so as you generate power, it's going to be more directed straight up from your board. Where if you're rounded, when you try to pop, it's going to be like easier to get twisted, and that's going to give you that dumpy feeling. So when you've done your like front under flips, you sort of like dump and get them flipping right away. Yeah. Getting it more set over the toes, making it so you're spinning like a hard way up and over, that'll make it so it's more spinny and less dumpy, and that will be what lets you go and spot the whole duration of the spin. So I want you to go and visualize sort of like your front side spins, you're taking off hard way. So you're on your toes, like you're going to spin hard way, then you shift to your heels, popping up, and that's going to make it so basically I want you to practice a hard way frontside 360 position, but you're still doing your setup carve just like you would for a normal frontside spin. That should keep you more over your board and let you get more power off that tail, letting you get more up. Because ideally what we'd see is when you do a frontside 360 off this jump, it's actually going to throw you slightly off axis and get you corking just because you're lifting and matching the angle of the takeoff so much. Okay. So that's what I want you to work on for front threes and think about. We'll have a recording of this video so you don't need to memorize all this right now. The backside 360 is a little more complex because it's going to be like changing how you're doing it fundamentally. Yeah. Right now, as you're spinning the backside 360, as soon as your upper body's hitting here, you're connecting your core and tightening everything, and that's making it so as you continue rotation, your front knee's coming in like this. And that's why you're getting this rotation in this position here. Yeah, you can look at it. Yeah. And that's why when you rotate, you're coming in and everything's all connected. So the issue here is because you're rotating your whole rotation completely connected, you're not going to have any micro control or adjustment. So if you snap your rotation too hard off the takeoff, you're going to over rotate. If you snap it too soft, you're going to under rotate. So the solution for this is what we call disconnection, where we disconnect our lower body and upper body slightly. So instead of going and snapping here, connecting everything tight and pulling it in and trying to rotate together, instead I'm snapping here and then my upper body keeps going, and only once my upper body's here, then my tail takes off, then I connect it, so then everything's stacked here, and that lets me take my upper body's energy and channel it and pulling through. So the difference is as soon as you're hitting neutral with your upper body, you're now you're rotating with your hips, rotating with your knee, and continuing it, and that's what's causing the pre-spin. But what you want to be doing is having a slight separation of the upper and lower body, so as you rotate past this point, your upper body keeps rotating, but your legs are still staying straight, popping off the jump. So when you're in this position where your hips are straight, shoulders are rotated, then you go and connect, and this is going to make it so your rotation's being channeled, so then you can pull your back arm through. And the only goal for this is to get in this position here, rotated 90 degrees. Oh, you're regular. Let me do it regular quick.
Sure. That's fine.
You're coming up, rotating, leading, now connecting, and your goal is to be at 90 degrees rotation with your upper body looking here. Because when you're looking here, what you can do is counter rotate 270 all the way around. This makes it so as you're rotating the backside 360, you only need to rotate like 90 to 180 degrees, so it takes very minimal power. How you can practice this is practice going and walking on the ground. I want you to go, come up, walk, 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 channel through, jump up like this.
Okay.
So that's how I want you to think of a backside 360. It's not a full backside 360. Oh, sorry, I'll do it. It's not a full connected backside 360. Instead, it's a takeoff, extension, lead into 90, rotate, counter rotate 270.
Okay.
So it's like a 90 into a 270. I don't know if you do much rails, but it's basically the same thing as like a front blunt, same way. So we're trying to use pop up, controlled, carry through, connected, rotate.
Okay.
It's a different way of going about it, but it gives you that micro control, and that's going to make it so you're way less susceptible to like any funk, and then you'll be using less power, and less power makes it a lot easier to do the motions.
Sounds good.
So I'll get you to think about that. Again, recorded, so you don't need to have it memorized right now, and I'll give some examples on screen. And this coaching is actually very similar to the coaching I offer on my Patreon. We call it video analysis. Basically, you submit a video of your snowboarding, and I'll go and give you a full video breakdown, talking about what works, what needs to be tweaked, etc. And it's a really good way to go and improve your riding and streamline your training, and hopefully go and make less mistakes. I know it took me a really long time to figure out these tricks, and one of the reasons is because there's so many little nuances and different ways to do it that can really hold you back. So fantastic job today. We made great progress on the front freeze, and we figured out what to fix on your backside 360s. So I'll go and make you this video, go and give you the feedback so we can go and implement it our next day training.
Nice. Can't wait.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, guys.